I'm Bill Burton, and it's time for us to take a look at the science behind the forecast as I am joined by Wave 3 meteorologist Tawana Andrew. Good morning, Tawana.
Good morning. We have a pretty significant event coming up in the next couple of days, and that is going to be our topic for today.
A lot of people are excited about this, myself included. It's a total solar eclipse, and we are in Louisville close to the path of totality. So, what do we need to know about what's going to be happening here on Monday?
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on the impact that the eclipse can have on our weather. So, if anyone didn't know, for a total solar eclipse, for maybe those kiddos listening, the moon basically goes in between the earth and the sun, blocking the sun's light and casting a shadow on our planet. Now, the totality doesn't last more than a couple of minutes, but we could still see a pretty significant impact. First, you got to watch the wind, or I guess in reality's case, we feel the wind.
Okay, sure, true.
So once the sun disappears, the planet's surface will lose that incoming solar energy, and that will cause our temperatures to cool. Now,
Hmm.
with the lack of rising warm air, that causes the wind speeds at the surface to drop, and we could even see the wind direction start to shift
Hmm.
as that happens. If you pay attention around sunset, especially on a sunny day, this is exactly the same thing that happened. You'll see the wind
Oh,
relaxing, and sometimes you could even see the wind direction changing.
okay.
So that's going to be more noticeable in areas with calmer weather. If somebody has a thunderstorm going on, they're not noticing anything. Uh, once the eclipse is over, then the wind will return to its original direction, and most of the time its original speed.
Okay.
When it's going to get dark, of course, the temperatures are also going to start to drop.
Yeah.
Now, the drop may not be super dramatic, but for those of you who are paying attention, you can certainly feel the difference of a few degrees. During the August 2017 eclipse, many parts of the US saw temperature drops of 5 to 10 degrees. In Hopkinsville, there was
Yeah.
around an 8-degree drop.
That's a pretty big drop.
That's a pretty big drop. One part of the US even saw a drop of more than 10 degrees.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's a lot in the middle of an August afternoon.
Where's my
Um,
jacket?
I know, right? And temperature swings are going to be more noticeable in areas where the humidity is low, which does not look to be our area, by the
Hmm.
way.
Okay.
Um, and it took around an hour for temperatures to return to normal after the 2017 eclipse. And fun fact for the water cooler, if anyone is standing around those still nowadays,
Oh, of
uh,
course.
the
Everybody loves a good fun fact. Water
I mean,
cooler optional.
the most significant known temperature drop during a total solar eclipse happened in southern Pennsylvania in 1834,
Wow.
where
Okay.
this is where the temperature dropped 28 degrees in just a
Wow.
few minutes.
That's pretty severe.
I know in 1834, they were terrified. They were
Oh,
like,
there was
it's not.
absolute panic. No, no doubt.
So nobody panic. We are expecting the temperature drop. We know this is coming. Something else that you may notice as you're looking up with those glasses, of course, will be the fact that some clouds will actually start to dissipate during the eclipse. There was one study that looked at 3 solar eclipses between 2005 and 2016 and found that small cumulus clouds, the ones that look like cotton balls floating in the air,
Uh-huh.
those tend to dissipate as darkness falls, even when totality is as low as 15%. And 15% really is not that much. It's kind of just like putting on really weak sunglasses. um, so, yeah, that's a substantial change, even with a low totality. And with the cooling of the atmosphere as temperatures falling, you have a reduction in the amount of rising warm air, and that is what's causing the clouds to fall apart. Now, these are mainly those puffy low-level clouds that we'll see impacted. Mid to high-level clouds usually don't see any impacts from this. Thick low-level clouds, like when we have a lot of drizzle, those don't really get impacted. And thunderstorm clouds, those cumulonimbus clouds, those are going to be just fine. They're going to stay the same. As soon as temperatures go back to normal, the clouds will gradually start to return. And by the way, in April, our average cloud cover in the region is around 60 to 70%.
Yeah.
So we really need to squeeze out just a bit of clearing for this eclipse on Monday. Something else for those of you trying to figure out what to do with your hair,
Yeah.
relative humidity will actually go up during the eclipse. So we know that warm air holds more moisture than cold air. As the temperatures drop, the air's ability to hold moisture also drops, meaning that during totality, it will contain a more significant portion of its overall capacity in those colder eclipse conditions. So in Christian County, where Hopkinsville is, the humidity actually rose during that 2017 eclipse from 45% to 75%
Wow.
during totality. And as soon as totality was over, it dropped right back down below 50%. And here's another fun fact for you. I got plenty of those today.
I'm ready.
So there was a 15-minute lag in the temperature, humidity, and wind speed changes compared to when we initially lost the solar radiation in 2017. So it's not an instantaneous thing.
Takes a little while.
It takes a little while, yes. So for anybody wondering about the forecast on Monday, there is that potential for some rain and clouds around. The rain is mainly in the morning, and then we'll still have some clouds around for the afternoon. So we'll hope for just enough clearing Monday afternoon to be able to enjoy the eclipse.
Fingers crossed. And now we really have a great understanding of what can happen during an eclipse as far as the weather is concerned, thanks to the latest edition of Science Behind the Forecast with Wave 3 meteorologist Tawana Andrew. Thanks for the knowledge, Tawana.
Of course.